Hello everyone, this is Jason from Primetime Aquatics. We are excited to announce that this video has been sponsored by Flip Aquatics, flipaquatics.com. A lot of awesome stuff for shrimp and nano tanks. Check out the website in the description below for more information. So what do we got going on today? The 33 long on the other side. We recently rescaped that 33 long for a different type of fish. So we're going to show you what we did. So stay tuned. So this is the bottom 33 long, and when we set it up, it was originally set up for these guys. These are Thricthes mechalopinus. They're really cool fish. They're kind of like firemouths. They don't seem to get as big. They're not quite as aggressive. We've got 9 of them in this 33 long. They've kicked out a lot of fry for us in the past, and I think we're just ready to kind of transition this tank to something else. We're not getting rid of these fish. These fish will go in the 75 gallon with the Severum, the red-tailed shark. I think they're gonna fit in just fine there. They've got a little bit of attitude, not too much where they're gonna bully the other fish. The other fish will not terrorize them. I think it's gonna be a good fit. Like I said, they've had babies before, so we're ready to kind of get this colony a little bit broken up, not so focused on breeding them anymore, and we're gonna move some other fish into here, and we're gonna kind of straighten up this tank a little bit. It's a little messy. They've kind of dug some holes everywhere, and they do what New World cichlids do, and they kind of tear things up, dig things up. So we're gonna straighten this tank out a little bit, get some of the green hair algae out. I already started to do that. That's why the water's so cloudy, and get this tank ready for some new fish. So what happened to the Thricthes mechalopinus, you asked, that were in the 33? We're not a really big fan of getting rid of fish. Once I get something, I have a really hard time letting go. And I like these fish. I think they're cool. So they wound up in here in the 75 gallon with the green Severum and the pearl gourami. There's a Geophagus steindachteri in here, the red-tailed shark, the leaf tenopoma. And they're doing great. They're fitting in well. Nobody's getting bullied. They all seem to be getting along fairly well, which is a good thing. So they're in here. I don't expect any more breeding from them, and that's not the goal here. We've bred them quite a bit, and now they're just kind of living out their life in this tank. And like I said, everybody's getting along pretty well. I like the way the colors are popping in this tank. It's not very brightly lit, so the colors are a little bit more subdued, but certainly like this setup. And I think it'll be a good fit for them long term. Like I said, everybody seems to be doing just fine. So this is the bottom 33 long now as it exists, as Joanna just set it up. What we're doing here is we are trying to create an environment for which our new fish, Apistogramma Borellii, can really grow and really thrive. There's going to be other fish in this tank besides them, but this is a 33 long. We've got 5 Apistogramma Borellii. They're still small, not quite sure in terms of sexing, how many males, how many females we have, but the idea here is that we give them enough space so that if we get at least a couple pairs, we should be okay with having those 2 spares spawn simultaneously when they get older. Now, some of this tank really is just set up, as we go over here to the left-hand side, we're gonna see a big stack of catappa leaves here and the cholla wood. Again, a big thank you to Flip Aquatics for sending us that. The idea here is as that stuff starts to break down, we're going to see a little bit of tannins in the water. So as we look at this tank in the future, we're probably gonna see water that is a little bit darker. We don't mind that. As the catappa leaves break down, that's going to create some organic material. If the fish start breeding when they get older, a lot of times you'll see the babies in those areas. Algae will grow on that, bacteria will grow on that as well. It may also very slightly reduce the pH if we had enough of it. I don't know that we're going to have enough wood and catappa leaves in this tank to really have a major impact on our pH, which normally sits right around an 8 or an 8.2. But we'll see. What we've got going on in here in terms of plants, I'm going to be honest, I don't know what this plant is. It was in here when the Thricthes mechalopinus were in here. I love the plant. I love the way it's branching out and just kind of going crazy and taking over this side of the tank. We do have a couple of smaller crypts over here on the right-hand side. And then as we go towards the center, where the wood is, Joanna tied some Anubias, both Anubias nana petite, and there's another type of Anubias there on the bottom left. Don't know what that is. There is some Java fern over on the left-hand side, and there's a mess back there of jungle val. I know it doesn't look great right now, but that is an area where we're hoping is the jungle val will grow from the bottom all the way up to the top, and we'll have kind of a little jungle val forest over there for little babies. And if the fish are breeding, they can kind of keep their babies in that area. We're certainly not done with fish. There's a couple more that I would like to add. Some type of schooling, perhaps tetra. And I am still contemplating possibly adding in some cories in addition to that. So we'll see what happens there. But overall, I think Joanna did a good job with this tank. It's a good start. It's certainly not finished, but it's going to be good for the fish that we're keeping. All right, once again, a big thank you to FlipAquatics.com for supplying us with the cholla wood and the catappa leaves. That should give us the look that we want long term. As that stuff starts to break down, we're going to get more tannins in the water, a little bit more organic material, and in the right setup, you could possibly lower the pH a little bit. It should be great for our pistos that are going to really like those tannins, and the colors actually pop pretty nice when you start to see those tannins in the water. We're also looking forward to getting some more fish in that tank, some schooling fish, possibly some cory cats. Would love to hear your suggestions. You're going to see when we do the full fish room tour on the 50-gallon lowboy, we've taken some of your considerations into account when we looked at further stocking that tank as well. So if you enjoyed this video, share, subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.